What's up, guys? Before we begin this podcast, I want to let you know that we are brought to you by Diet Smoke. Diet Smoke, what up? Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. Guys, this is a nice medium foray into the dankness, because when CBD is too mild and the dispensary THC is too crazy, you got to try Diet Smoke. Delta H THC gummies. Legal in most states. You can get these shipped right to your door. Go to dietsmoke.com. Use the promo code GODEEP for 20% off. That's GODEEP at dietsmoke.com for 20% off. Diet Smoke, what up? Get that cool medium high. What up? We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims peeled, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean, because roses are red, violets are blue. Do not let a wild pube wreck you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsors at Manscaped are here for you with the best tools to get your balls ready for the special occasion. This V-Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code GODEEP for 20% off plus free shipping. We are also brought to you by Allform. Allform, what up, dudes? Big shout out to our new friends at Allform, the makers of Helix. From the makers of Helix, sorry about that. They got these customized sofas with premium materials, scratch, stain resistant. I just got a new dank chair that is just so relaxing. And it's got an ottoman, and it's cool colors. You can pick your colors, and it's sick. Delivered right to you, easy home assembly, modular design, the best sofa you can get. They're giving our listeners 20% off at allform.com/GoDeep. All right, let's start the show. Once we're deep, going deep, Chad and JT. Pour the maple syrup and take off my pants. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad JT podcast. I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
Boom clap, Stokers.
And then we are here with our guest, stand-up comic, actor, producer, writer, David Cross. Welcome.
Honored to have you laughing here. Why did you?
Because I just realized we were kind of throwing you into the deep end by coming full in with our intros, and I was like, he has no context for this.
Exactly, and I know you know that, and I started smiling. Yeah, I know that's why you laugh. Like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't know.
That's why I was looking
away. Clap,
Stokers,
Stoke Nation.
Yeah, you're supposed to come in with your own little catchphrase.
Yeah, do you have your own California patois that you could toss in there?
Oh shit! I should have been prepared for that. Had I known, I'll come up with something. And,
it'll come to you later.
Yeah, it'll come.
Nice. But yeah, we're stoked to have you here. I'm a huge fan.
Well,
yeah,
thanks.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. It was a lovely walk. I don't know. We're right now in what would you call this? Central Hollywood?
West Hollywood.
West Hollywood. Is it really West Hollywood?
Yeah, for sure. It's not
I thought it was like once you get past Fairfax, it's West Hollywood. I might be wrong.
I think La Brea is more.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, like La Cienega to La Brea, I think is like kind of the heart of West Hollywood. But most people associate it with farther west. Than
yeah,
here.
I mean, I did until just seconds ago.
Really?
Yeah, until you edified me.
Isn't that crazy when your brain has to like reorient the map? You know when you're like in New York?
Oh, I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I'll remain wrong.
Steadfast. Yeah. I like it. You know when you're driving through New York and you don't know where you're going exactly, you're kind of lost in the grid, and then you realize you're like heading the opposite direction you thought you were, and then the whole city just flips into your head?
No.
That's never happened to you?
No, because it's a
grid. So
it's grid, and north is, kind of obvious, and south is kind of obvious, when you're heading that way. East-west is a little trickier, but
damn.
But it only takes like a block or two or an avenue or two, or you're like, oh shit, I need to go that way.
It is true. I guess it's a hard place to get lost.
But I mean, it's
John
like,
Mulaney has that bit about it where he's like, it's 60.
Numbers.
The numbers go up.
Yeah, you just look at the number.
I don't know. It still happened to me fairly often.
Let's see. I'm supposed to be on 14th Street, but I'm in 27th. I was on 24th. Well, I guess I'll keep going this way and see if it turns into 14th. Well, now it's 32nd. Maybe it's just past 40th.
Oh, so you're saying the numbers go in order?
Yeah, they go in order. Yeah, that was one thing. It used to not be in order, and then they switched it because it just made no sense. And it would be, 12th Street, 82nd Street, 53rd Street, and then finally people said we got to switch this up.
I
This
never
makes no
figured that
sense.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
And also
New York, it was like that.
Yeah, up until about a week and a half ago. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like
That explains a
Tammany
lot.
Hall.
No,
and,
no, it was about a
Boss
week and a half
Tweed,
ago.
like switched it up.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I visit my brother in New York, and every time I can never find him. But that
Where
explains
is
it.
he?
I don't know. He's in
right.
Bronxville now. He was on 82nd and he was on 81st and First for a while.
Oh wow.
But now he's in
Yeah.
Westchester.
Do you have a favorite borough?
Yes, I do. In order
Why'd you
of
laugh?
preference, just I've never heard that before. It's interesting. I would say Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Bronx, Staten Island.
As you were going, I figured Staten Island was going to come in last.
Way last.
And I didn't think about that before I asked the question, but I wonder if from like 95% of the population, if that's where Staten Island lands.
It's. I mean, there's some nice, really cool, interesting things about it, but most of it is just awful. It's weird. It's a weird place with weird people, and they're not. You know how, if you've been to New York, you know that a lot of the cliches about it just aren't really that true, and New Yorkers are extremely helpful and I wouldn't say necessarily polite, but they're helpful. They're overly helpful sometimes. Not in Staten Island.
Right.
You really get a vibe of like, what the fuck do you want? You know, like it's just weird.
That's
It's
kind of
weird
the
there. That's
the
like
cliche
the cliche
about
of
New
New York,
York.
but no, it's not
It's-
true. New Yorkers are very, there's the community, like where I live. I mean, everybody knows everybody. And
Which
people
borough
help
are you
each-
in?
Brooklyn.
Nice. Are you in a Dumbo or Williamsburg?
No, I did live in Domo and I hated it. It's beautiful, but it's a weird. I don't want to bore people who've never been there, but it was almost like built very recently. It was just nothing for a long time. It was old factories, and then this architect firm, real estate firm, whatever, came in and just bought these buildings and turned them into these condos, and they really own everything, and they won't let certain businesses in. You have to kind of go through them because they own everything. So it's really got this kind of like, it's all like corporate, like Blue Bottle Coffee and WeWork and
Like artisanal corporate
yes,
kind of
yes,
stuff?
exactly. I've struggled to come up with a way to describe it, but that's perfect. Artisanal corporate or corporate artisanal.
That's my
yeah.
favorite aesthetic and style of store.
Oh man, and that's all it is. It's really
There's no soul.
anyway, no soul at all. No character. I mean, there's character, but no soul. And it's too bad because it's really beautiful and it's really convenient. Like every form of transportation's there. The bridges are right there, so you can bike over or walk over to Manhattan. You got the F, the AC, the 2-3, all right there.
2-3 is a good one.
That's
Red
a good
line.
one. Yep.
Are you a jazz guy?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah. That's why I'm on the show. I always clear it. I want to make sure nobody's into jazz.
Is the trumpet the worst instrument, you think?
No, the keytar.
Oh, the keytar.
Yeah,
I think the guitar is kind of adorable, though, right?
I mean, it's cute, but I don't think
It doesn't
it's-
produce great music.
No, I like the trumpet, especially when you mute it a little bit. It can be quite nice.
Oh, I don't think I've heard it that way. That does sound more appealing.
Yeah, a little Chet Baker-ish accent.
Oh, that Chet Baker's like a muted one?
Yeah, he'll mute it, and so will sometimes Louis Armstrong, and yeah, they could put that little thing on the end, the bell, whatever.
Is that like the little cup that they
Yep,
stick in
yep.
there?
Yep.
What's Chet Baker's big, like, slow melody song that he sings?
I don't know. I mean, he's dead now, right? He was a junkie for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what killed him, but
He was heroin.
yeah.
I never touched it.
No, he was a weed junkie. What other
died
junkies
from
was
that?
there?
He died from smoking weed. Let that be a warning to our listeners. Yeah.
Do you play instruments?
I don't. I can paradiddle on drums.
Oh, yeah.
I can paradiddle. I can play like 6 chords on a guitar because I had to learn them for different things. I started to play the banjo, and this is how pathetic I am. And I learned a lot of valuable insight in my character because I always assumed, like, I had this stupid daydream of, maybe I'm just going to go up into the woods and just read and write, and I'm going to learn to play banjo and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened, and I literally had that opportunity, and I didn't do shit. I just played video games and jerked off, and it was I didn't learn. And I have a banjo. I
Yeah.
I didn't pick it up.
I think. Go ahead. Chip.
Did you ever have that, like, because I feel like a lot of comics have that like fantasy of being like a rock star or something, that's kind of like their dream or whatever. Did you ever have that kind of?
I mean, I don't know about a fantasy of being a rock star, but I mean, I certainly fantasized about, selling out theaters and getting, having people react that way.
Emotionally resonating with your audience like that.
Sure. And I attained it on some level, and then I'm also even before I had any kind of celebrity, I was friends with a lot of people in bands, and we all kind of became successful together and kind of grew with each other or whatever, and so I get to almost vicariously just hang out and watch that on the side of the stage, and
that's cool.
Get to do that.
What bands were those?
The Beatles, the Rolling
Sick.
Stones, Sly and the Family Stones, Stone Pony,
lot of
Stone
Stone.
Roses. Yeah, that was my thing.
You're a
think
Stone
so?
guy.
Yeah.
Do you think Sly and the Family Stone, If You Want Me to Stay, is the best song of all time?
I don't remember that one. How does that go?
If you want me to stay, I'll be around.
Oh yeah,
the
that's
way.
great. That's great. Hey, have you seen Summer of Soul,
No.
the documentary that Questlove did?
No, I heard that. I'm sure it's good.
It's great. It's great, but they have a whole section with Sly and the Family Stone.
They're incredible.
Yeah, great. Just amazing.
And they were like an integrated band, like
Yeah,
in
that's
like
right.
the 60s and 70s.
Oh, the drummer was like some like white Jewish guy.
Let's go. I love that mix.
Yeah, and didn't Bootsy Collins play? Or no, I'm thinking of Funkadelic maybe. Yeah, he played with Funkadelic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that section. The whole movie is great, and definitely check it out. It's pretty crazy.
I actually, I should tell you, I PA'd or like I did audience seating with Bob and Dave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Just for a couple days when you guys were doing the live portion of it. When
Yeah.
Paul F. Tompkins was doing the audience warm up and stuff.
Yeah, where did we shoot that? That was like out.
It was like a soundstage, like in Atwater Village or like Glendale or something like that.
There, it was like. I remember it would take me forever to get back. I was my. I don't know if we were married yet, but she was my wife now, but her place was in.
I Wikipedia'd you, so you guys were married at this time.
Okay. Yeah, it would take me like an hour and 35 minutes to get home from there, wherever the fuck it was. It was so far in the middle of nowhere.
It was I've never been to that part of town again.
Yeah.
But I remember you guys had like a pre-show mix that you guys would throw on.
Oh, yeah?
And there's some great tracks on there. It actually introduced me to Thin Lizzy's song Jailbreak,
Oh, sure.
which I had never heard before. I only knew Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's been a consistent
That is
player.
my absolute favorite part of when I'm putting a tour together and I go out on the road, and then I kind of mix it up about every 25 shows or so, but I put together house music and I sequence it, like, and I'm, for music for when you're walking in up until pretty much I come on stage or I'm introduced, but that's my favorite thing. And then I always had to have the tour manager tell every venue, fucking crank it. Don't worry. It's just crank it. Don't, I know they tend to kind of play it down as you're coming in. It was like, just loud, play it.
Nice.
I loved it. It got me fired up.
Yeah,
it was
good.
It was a good mix. So you curated that? That's what I was kind of wondering about.
I would guess just knowing Bob and I that I would guess we probably each made one, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. You'd have to mention some more songs, and then I could say, oh, that's definitely me, or that's Bob. We agree on a lot of stuff, but he definitely has slightly different tastes. He was an Oasis guy. I was a Blur guy. Yeah.
Chad and me, we have somewhat similar music tastes.
Yeah.
But we were pitching something one time and we were driving around together trying to get pumped up, and you kept playing Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I saw this interview with Dave Grohl, and it was when we were like starting comedy, and he was talking. Yeah, I just applied it to comedy where I was like, he was talking about. This guy was asking him like, what do you say to like aspiring artists? And he's like, just play live, live.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so cool. And I was like, yeah, we're just going to play live. And so every time we were going to do something, I would put on Foo Fighters, usually Everlong, and I'd just be channeling Dave Grohl through stand up.
Yeah, he's a great guy, great music, great band.
He does seem like a good dude. He seems very
He's a very
happy.
cool guy.
Yeah.
You know him?
I mean, acquaintance. We have a lot of mutual friends.
Best friends?
We're very tight. Yes. He came to my bar mitzvah amongst other things. Yeah.
Did you have a bar mitzvah?
I did actually.
Was it fun?
I don't know. If fun was the would.
What would be the word?
It was kind of satisfying because it was an early a taste of being on stage in a sense, and I dug it, you know, and I actually got I read my Haftorah, and not intentionally trying to be, you know, dramatic about it, but in the reading of it, you know, you're telling this story and there's people involved, and somebody gave me an anonymous $10, somebody in the congregation, you know, and just with a note saying that was a wonderful reading of a wonderful a passage or whatever, and it was kind of an early taste of like, oh yeah, I can do this.
You have a flair for this.
Did you always want to be a performer, or did you know from that point that was something you wanted to do? Or?
I kind of always had that, you know, it became more defined and clear as I got older, but definitely I was, you know, the silly, wacky guy. The thing is, I moved constantly. I was up until I was 15, I think. 16 is when and then is when we kind of like settled in an apartment in Atlanta. But I moved like every year for the first 11 years, maybe. Literally every year.
Yeah.
And so I was always the new kid, sometimes in the north, sometimes in the south, and it's just a thing that it's one way to go when you're the new kid all the time,
right?
And you know, people like the funny people, so.
And Andy Kaufman was like your biggest inspiration, right?
He was huge, yeah. I mean, you can't really tell now in my stand-up, but when I first started, it was very, you know, like purposely confusing, and I did characters, and I tried to make the audience uncomfortable, or not, if not uncomfortable, just like, you know, with an idea of like, what is this guy doing? Is this a bit or is not a bit? And obviously, as people knew who I was, I couldn't really do those kind of openings anymore. But yeah, early on, he was huge influence.
The thing with Kaufman too, right, is that like it doesn't kill in the moment, right? It kills like in retrospect, like when you think about it or when you watch like a version of it. But that would seem like a tough thing to commit to for an entire career as a stand-up.
Yeah, and I couldn't and wouldn't and didn't, you know, and it took me a while to find my voice. And I also was, like a lot of people starting out, I was, you know, overtly influenced. Like people would see it and go, well, this guy must love Andy Kaufman. You know what I mean? Like it was so, and I was young too. I mean, the first time I went up, I was right before my 18th birthday. And
whoa, you started that early?
Yeah. And also by that point, like I knew I had literally no other skills. I mean, there's nothing you know, music, no photography, no art, no anything, you know, no skills, craft work, you know, no.
But all those things are in the arts. You never thought about becoming like a finance person or.
Oh, that's my dream. That's the ultimate dream, is just to retire from performing,
to pivot,
and just to get a small little mom and pop hedge fund,
management
asset management.
I've always seen you as a private equity guy.
Yeah. Well, let's. I don't want to box myself in.
Yeah.
I do like it for the jargon. Like when I talk to my friends who are in real estate, they're like, "Yeah, we're investing in an opportunity zone, and then we're going to do a 1031 exchange." I'm like, I got to tell you, that sounds awesome.
Opportunity zone.
Yeah, I guess like Trump made this thing where if you buy property in certain areas, you don't have to pay like capital gains tax on it,
Right.
Or
Well, that's like an enterprise zone. That was what's his face? Kemp came up with that. The New York senator from Buffalo or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Jack Kemp.
Jack
Yeah, but that was like a Reagan thing. Enterprise zones.
Oh, so it's been happening forever.
Yeah. I mean, they just, I guess, in
They
classic
rebranded
Trump, he just changed a word and said, "It's my idea."
I might have it wrong too with I pick all this up while playing Call of Duty with my buddies, and then
Because they're talking about it.
sometimes.
Hey, what games do you play? What's your video game?
Right now I'm playing Halo, the new Halo
one?
Infinite. Yeah, playing the campaign, and then I played Psychonauts 2 all the way through, and that was great. And before that I was Borderlands 3. Did all that, did all the DLC, and then there's the Borderlands Tiny Tina Dungeons and Dragons type thing.
Nice.
That's coming out in March, and I'll play that. And then when the chip supply gets back up, I'll get a PS5 and I'll get into Horizon Dawn West.
Do you teabag in Halo? Do you know what that is?
Can you do it in Halo?
It's where it was
I
born.
thought teabagging was that was Grand Theft Auto. No.
I don't know if you can. I
remember that's from a while ago, right?
Yeah, but my buddy and I, we were trying to bring it back.
Yeah, do it. Well, why not? There's a whole new generation of kids out there who need to be entertained. So.
And that haven't learned or been teabagged. It brings Chad an immense amount of joy.
It does.
I can see it.
I think if we played sometime, I would be honored to be teabagged.
What's your
my
handle?
gamer
Tag.
Deep Chad.
Deep Chad. Okay. And are you? That's only on Xbox, right?
Yeah,
it's not cross-platform.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been doing it in Call of Duty mostly.
Did you play Destiny?
No. I'm not that well versed. I've been playing Call of Duty, and then I was a big N64 guy and PS2. But then I sort of had like a hiatus, from like 2008 to like the pandemic.
Oh, that's a big hiatus, man. That's a lot of next gen shit that came out.
Yeah, well, I went to boarding school, and they didn't allow for like TVs or anything like that. So I didn't. I just sort of fell out of the game. And
it's
then
kind of like when Bob Dylan stopped touring.
Exactly.
After that car accident.
Yeah, I sort of hung up my teabagging sort of cap, and then Corona hit, and I was like, yeah, it's time.
And you got your cap back down. Where'd you put your cap?
It's my mom's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that something she had to send by mail, or did you actually literally have to go?
She said I just to be safe, she sent by mail. Yeah.
Why would that be safer than you actually going there and picking it up?
Oh, because it was like peak COVID. I was like, I don't want to put you at risk.
Couldn't she leave the house for a bit and then you'd walk in and then you'd go get it?
I didn't think about
say,
it.
Mom, you can go back in now?
It was such a crazy time, and I was nervous about putting that cap back on that I just didn't.
You had other things on your mind.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, just Lysol it.
Yeah.
Throw it in the package. I don't even, if I entered the house, I don't even know if I'm gonna spread COVID just by breathing in there. Yeah.
Where does she live?
Santa Fe. She moved there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Have you been to Santa Fe?
Oh, a bunch of times. Yeah. Have you?
I have. Yeah.
Do you like it?
It was one of those places, and there aren't that many of these, but it was a place where I was on tour, and I got there and I was like, oh wow, this looks beautiful. This is really cool. And the longer I walked around and hung out, I was like, yeah, I'm not a big fan.
It's a little sleepy.
It is. It's old too.
It's old. It's old and sleepy. The Adobe's cool. I like that sort of aesthetic.
And there's that the oldest church in America is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little like the bar scene's not very good, and
it's just kind of one little square. And they have good they have good food and good hikes. But if you're looking to party, it's probably not the best.
Not even spot. It was like. It was charming, and then got less so the more I was like, oh, this isn't really charming.
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry, Santa Fe.
Yeah. I'll tell my mom not to listen.
Do you ever? I know you're a big baseball fan. We talked about it yesterday, but like, do you ever play baseball video games, and have they ever gotten it right?
I haven't played in a long time. Like Chad. I mean, I played. I think the last baseball. I mean, going back at least 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're fun, but it's after a while it just kind of got a little boring. And I guess I was missing a story. You know, I didn't realize it, but I like the story aspect of shit.
Right.
Like of watching sports, like knowing.
No, I meant when you're playing a video game, like a
Right.
narrative to it.
Oh, interesting.
It didn't occur to me until
We could do
later.
franchise mode, and you can like manage your own team. And
That's true. I don't even know if that was around when I stopped playing. It was like
Right.
that was a while ago. And same with football. I play football with friends, and it was fun. And it's fun when you're playing with a bunch of guys, or girls.
It's
but
the best.
there's all the shit talk and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like it's like a special thing as opposed to picking up a game, going, okay, now I've got to. I got to collect the magic, green leaves, and I need 100 to get the potion, and then the witch will tell me the thing. Yeah, I don't know. And that applies to no games that I play. I don't even know why.
Which will tell me.
do you play? You mentioned Dungeons and Dragons was going to be like a component of a game.
I'd never played that, not even once. I had tons of friends who did it, and it always, and I feel bad for this, truly. It always seemed way too nerdy for me, and I probably would have enjoyed it, but I don't know anything about it.
It's a tough thing to overcome when that nerd radar goes off. Like you don't want to feel it.
And I was a nerd.
You don't want to yuck someone.
I was a different kind of nerd, but I was definitely a nerd. I was
we're all
the
nerds
music.
about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like a music nerd, comedy nerd, I guess. Yeah, and I regret the attitude, but yeah, I had friends,
You
tons
got
of
to be
friends who
honest
did
to
it.
who you are. Yeah. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
But I bet I was scared that I would like it.
You would like it.
That's the thing.
Damn. That was like when I was playing Pokemon. I wouldn't tell people I was playing Pokemon, but I like loved it. It's just like a tremendous game, but I did it in secret.
I remember when that shit first, it kind of came and went very quickly, but that, again, I was on tour. I must have been the 2016 tour, I'm guessing. Is that right? About Pokemon? Like when it came out?
2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon Go.
That was Pokemon Go.
Oh.
The earlier version was probably like 1999, but you're in the window.
I'm thinking, I don't know what you're talking about, I guess. I'm thinking of the ones where everybody's like, have their phones out and going, there's one, and there's nothing there.
They're pointing at the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, like outside of a Best
That was
Buy.
a really weird thing to watch
That
and
was
not know
cool.
what was happening. But it was happening in every city. So I'd get, I was on tour and you'd be in a different city every night mostly. And then just wherever I was, like I'm in Calgary and I'm in Denver and and just people are running around going like, there's one. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you remember when your brain switched? Because when I heard about that and saw people doing it, I thought it was really cool that they made it like mapped out over the real world.
When I understood what was going on, I thought, oh, wow, that's really interesting.
But then I got scared. I was like, but kids are going to be playing this and they're going to get like dragged into bad parts of town trying to find a Charizard.
And maybe getting hit by a car or some, because they would just stop and for sure.
It's a little dangerous.
It sounds like it.
Did that happen? People got hit by cars, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was like a record number of kids got hit by cars that year.
Wow.
Like 4,000 kids got smushed. It was crazy.
That's
Rest in
dedication.
peace.
Yeah, that's dedication.
We're
to
doing
the
a
game.
memorial comedy show for him. If you want to drop in, David, we'd love to have you.
Absolutely, for sure.
What's out of everything, writing, acting, stand up, do you have a favorite thing that you I mean, I guess
Good
stand up
cue.
is sort of
Stand up, yeah.
Stand-up's
I mean,
your favorite.
and I don't know that it really became clarified during the pandemic because I mean I can't really. There's no way to replicate stand up without going out and doing shows, with audiences there, and some people are trying to do it over Zoom, and that's
Brutal.
no good. And I did. I did a couple outdoor shows, which are not the same at all. Not where everybody's spaced apart, and I was writing with a couple different things with people and doing it over Zoom. And so you can it's not ideal at all, but you can sort of replicate the idea of being in the writer's room, which that's the best thing. But if you can't be, then you try to do it on Zoom and you do these writing sessions there. And acting was different, but you can still do it. I mean, you couldn't really rehearse like you used to be able to, but when you're on set and everybody's got masks and the face shields, and then there's like zone A, zone B, zone C, and these people can't be near these people, and everything's apart. And but then ultimately you take your shit off and you go stand on your marks and you do the scenes, and then you finish and mask back on. So you can do that stuff, but you cannot do stand-up. And I went a year and a half. I talk about it in the special. Did we mention the special?
Not yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, you have a new special coming out.
Yeah.
when does it drop?
February 12th.
Okay.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, it's called I'm From the Future, and you can get it on my website, which is officialdavidcross.com. And
Go out there and grab it, guys.
And I talk about it in the because I was in Canada. This is the other thing I should mention, is that just timing wise, I got the worst of it because we were in New York for the when it was the epicenter and everything shut down. It was scary as fuck, and nobody knew what was going on, and so everything shut down. And right as stuff was starting to open up again, we had to go to Toronto. Because my wife, who does all kinds of stuff, but is an actress as well, and was on this TV show that was shooting in Toronto, and I was like, great, we have a little girl, so we knew we had to move the family up there, and I was like, cool, I love Toronto, awesome city, I've had really good sets there, I recorded an album there, and I'll just do stand up.
Right.
That's cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And we got there, and everything was shut down, and Doug Ford, the premier of Ontario, just fucked everything up, and it was literally lockdown, stay-at-home orders was what they called it, and with the exception of 2 weeks in March. And nothing's open. And my wife was like, well, see if you can go to Vancouver or anywhere, Regina or Edmonton, and see if you can, and nothing was open.
Right.
And
Not even the Hockey Hall of Fame.
not even the Hockey Hall of Fame. You just had to go and peer through the window, sadly.
Damn it.
And it was really tough, really depressing. We were in a stranger's Airbnb for half a year with a hyper 4-year-old, and nothing's open. And it was hard on our marriage. It was tough, and I was going through a difficult time, and a big part of it was I couldn't work and I couldn't do stand-up. And when I finally did it, and I got back to New York the fucking second I could, and my daughter and I flew back. My wife stayed there for the extra month that she needed to be there. And I did a guest set like 4 days after getting to New York. And New York's open, and everybody's walking around, and restaurants are open, the streets they have this open street program. It's awesome. And I did a set, and I started getting emotional at the end of it, going, man, and it was truly a year and a half, which is the longest I've ever gone without being able to do stand-up since I started when I was 17. And it's like it's a not to get overly poetic about it, but it's a need. It's not like I want to do this. It's a fucking need that I have, clearly. And I mean, it was a big deal. As I said, I started going, so you guys, man, this has been, boy, you have no idea. And a lot of stand-up can be cathartic and therapeutic as well.
Yeah.
And I was starting to like really get emotional. And,
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's where the special
Did that
came from.
surprise you when you got emotional on stage, or?
A little bit. I mean, I had to I'm not gonna stand here and start crying, so I'm gonna leave. And everybody was awesome, and I just missed that. I missed the give and take. Even though it's a monologue in theory, it's still kind of a dialogue. The audience is right there in front of you, and you're.
And they're kind of informing where you go as you go.
And I didn't have like a hardcore set yet. I mean, I built up into what this set became, but I was just talking, and a lot of it was about like venting about fucking Toronto. Okay, here's and
because you've been stuck there, so you're ready.
Stuck, man, like literally stuck. And they were hardcore about that. Like, you got to quarantine for 14 days. It doesn't matter. This is I think as the vaccine was rolling out in America, and we were still in Toronto, they didn't have their shit together. I shouldn't say just Toronto, but it was all of Ontario, and I didn't have any friends there, and there's not, on the weekends there's nothing, and I've got a kid.
Yeah,
it was.
You were like all responsibility and no like outlet, basically.
None. Yeah, it was hard. But I'll tell you, when we got there and we quarantined for the 14 days, and I was, my wife and I were both nervous about like how's our daughter gonna handle this. We're in a stranger's house, and we came to this situation where we. My wife was like, why don't you take her in the morning and I'll do my work. And then at lunch, I'll have lunch. And then this is back when she was napping during the day, and she'll have a nap, and then I'll take her for the rest of the day. And you can work. I was like, great, that sounds good. And I would get up with her, and it was like just hours of running around. They had this little kind of carpeted basement room with a couch, and we'd run. And I lost 7 pounds. 7 fucking pounds. And a lot of it was because I wasn't drinking that as much as I normally would. But I mean, 7 pounds on my frame is noticeable. And it was just from running around with a 4-year-old trying to get her.
Keep up with it.
Yeah. It was for 14 days. Couldn't go out, couldn't do.
Oh, you lost that much weight over just 14 days?
Yeah. Wow. Over the quarantine. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I put it all back on and then some. But, yeah. I mean, I was like, wow, I'm starting to look good. Doing some push-ups.
Did you ever? Did you always want to have kids, or did you sort of?
I did, but I didn't until I was older.
Right. I feel like that's common for
guys.
For guys, yeah.
I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, once I knew that I was ready for a monogamous relationship for the rest of my life, and once I met the woman that I ultimately married, and then it's, we were having a great time, and you can, do whatever you want and pick up and go and stuff, but fairly quickly, I mean, after a couple years of marriage, I'm like, yeah, it's easy for me to say that because my wife and I, there's a significant age gap, and I got to do all the fucking around that one gets to do, and so it was easy for me to go like, yeah, I'm in my 50s, I should probably settle down and have a kid, and so I definitely felt that way.
Were you looking to settle down, or did it kind of just?
No.
You just were dating someone, and then you're like, it kind of clicked where you're like, oh, this is a person I would want to do this with, and
Yeah, it was definitely that, and but it wasn't like I'm tired of this lifestyle. I want to,
switch it up.
Yeah, find somebody and settle down. I didn't really have that.
You were content with the way you were doing it.
Yeah, I mean. Not to sound obnoxious, but I was in New York, and and having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and it was, and then I, and Amber and I, my wife and I, like, we connected immediately, and we'd met very briefly in other situations, but not in any real, kind of viable substantive way, yeah. And and once we started going out, and once it was like a thing, that was it. We never left. She moved in basically, and that was.
Oh, it happened pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
That's awesome.
And became serious pretty quickly, and also unlike anything I had experienced. I've had long-term girlfriends before, but it was also like there was the voice that was like, she's the one, man. I mean, this is it, you know. And her friends were cool, her family's cool, she's really smart. People don't know how smart she is. I mean, and funny. I meant she's also smart, but people don't realize how funny she is. She's really, really funny. And then, yeah, it was and you don't suppress that voice anymore. You're like, all right, this is.
Did it surprise you, the voice? Or did it scare you at all when you heard the voice?
It was a little scary because the voice in my head is the voice. It's like Vincent Price, you know. So it was a little creepy and scary. Yeah. So that's the voice in my head.
Has it always been Vincent Price's voice?
No, it was fucking
Charlton
Buffalo
Heston?
Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
This
Yeah.
girl's the one. You don't want to be with her.
So is it tough for you to watch the Thriller music video?
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like it's talking directly to me.
Yeah, you're like, the voices in my head is also Michael
the voice
Jackson's.
in Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You and Michael Jackson are like neurologically connected.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a weird thing to realize, and I've been in touch with his estate about getting some of that stuff.
If you woke up one morning, you got body swapped into Michael Jackson, what do you do?
Was he cremated or buried?
I think they torched him.
They torched him.
It's the safest way.
Just start putting the dust together.
I guess so, right? Trying to get a little bit of water or any kind of moisture I could get and try to reconstitute.
It does sound dry. It's a pretty dry situation.
This is kind of random, but I heard you in an interview once. You were talking about your book, I Drink for a Reason, which I read and really liked. And you were saying that in the early stages, you wanted to write like fiction short stories for it. And you mentioned George Saunders, who's like one of my favorite short story writers, maybe my favorite writer, honestly. But because what do you think makes him so good? Why are his short stories? Because they're heavy. Like when you finish one, you're like, oh fuck, I don't know if I can keep reading these.
I think it's just the you're never ahead of it. It's a really imaginative. It's only from the authors I like have that in common, where it's like I'm never ahead of the story. Like it's such an imaginative. Right. My all-time favorite author is Charles Portis. In fact, that's what this tattoo is of the
nice
cover of the original cover of Masters of Atlantis, and like his stories and Kurt Vonnegut, and just it's a singular person came up with this. And what I really want to read now, because everybody loves it, and I worked on the adaptation of it, is Station 11.
Oh, you worked on that?
Yeah, I did it's great. It's amazing.
Good, yeah.
I mean,
My friends love it. It's Mackenzie Davis, right? And
yeah.
it's like a kind of
it's beautiful.
Post-apocalyptic world, or is that a little off? Or dystopian world?
No,
it's not dystopian.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the cool things about it is it, unlike all these other shows or movies or anything
where the future's a bummer or something.
Yeah, it's not. It's got hope to it, and it's also beautifully shot. The storytelling is amazing, and I worked on it for I don't know, a total of 6 days maybe, scattered here and there, but. And didn't really know the story, and knew my scripts. I knew the stories in the scripts, but knew also how it was going back and forth. Past, present, future type. Weaving these threads through, and it's my kind of storytelling that I really I gravitate to that kind of thing. And then I watched it, and the last 2 episodes I was crying. It's beautiful. Nice. It's a really well done, beautiful piece of work, that show.
When I'm just going back to when you were on Arrested Development, I just wonder this about making shows and stuff. Did you guys know when you were making the show that it was going to be special?
Yes.
Like, are you able to get that feeling on certain things that you've done, or is that just kind of?
I wouldn't say I've had that feeling like I did with Arrested, and it's very specific. I mean, I can pinpoint. I can tell you because I did not want to do that show initially, only because I had just moved to New York after being in LA. I was in LA for 9.5 years, and after Mr. Show, I was just like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I want to move to New York, and there would always be some project that kept me here, and then I found myself like in April of whatever year it was, and I was like, okay, I've got nothing coming up. And I literally got a U-Haul, and I got a friend who was going to drive to New York, and I loaded it up, and I had to go do finish some work somewhere. And then I basically went, sublet a friend's place. I gave everything away that wouldn't fit in this small U-Haul truck, and moved to New York. I just did. I was very quick and rash, and I was like, if I don't do this now, I'm gonna, a week or 3 weeks from now, there'll be some other project, and then I'll just be here. So I'm gonna do it. Moved to New York, had the fucking time of my life. I was one of the happiest periods, and also really, it was also bad because I was way into drugs too much. Like it was good and bad at the same time, and but doing stand-up and running around and hanging out with bands and just having a great time, and loving the life that downtown New York offered one. And then I get the script, and I'm like, I'm not interested. They were like, it's going to shoot in LA, and I didn't know who Mitch Hurwitz was. I didn't know who the Russo brothers were, but everybody was sending me this scripts like, oh, he's great. These guys are great. It's going to be cool. And they wanted me to look at Job and Buster, and I did not get Job at all. I had no handle on that, no take on it, which shows you Will Arnett's genius. Like, he came into that. When you just think of there's no description, just words on a page.
Right.
And I didn't get it at all. But I did, when I read the Tobias stuff, I was like, I knew exactly who that guy was. Right. I had a real specific idea. And it was also intended to be part-time, like reoccurring character. I was like, oh, this is great. If I do 6 episodes, I'll fly to LA, I'll shoot an episode, come home for a month, whatever it is. And I said, so I talked to Mitch, and I talked to the Russo brothers who directed it, and I said, I'm interested in Tobias, and told them my ideas for it, and I was specific about, like, I like the idea that it's reoccurring. He's not a regular. And then we went to go shoot the pilot. I was also kind of in this new relationship with this awesome girl, and everything was great. And I was here shooting the pilot, and I remember exactly where I was. I was on the I think I told the story. I was on the little bridge, across from the Beverly Center. There's a Beverly Connection, and I had been at the soup plantation, and I knew I had to call my girlfriend and go, hey, so I think I have to do this show. Because we had shot for a couple days. The cast was amazing. It was so fucking funny and fun, which is rare. And I think we all knew how special it was. Right. And by half the way through shooting it, it was like, I need to do this. Yeah. We need to make it a regular.
It's one of my favorite shows. So funny.
It was great, and it was just the writing, and Mitch was amazing, and that cast. The casting was
insane.
I mean,
everyone's had huge careers, and everyone's so weird. Like, everyone's so idiosyncratic, but it all fits together.
Yeah, and kind of perfect. I mean, I can't imagine anybody but Will and no. I mean, it's just and Jessica and Jeffrey and the kids. Michael and Ellie.
Sarah, and now they're both huge stars too.
Well, they're not just huge stars. They're really, really smart, talented, precocious.
They have good taste.
Kids. They have great taste.
Yeah, how did that happen? Could you tell when you're like looking at these, like, I mean, they were probably what, like 14 or 15 when they were on that?
I think younger.
I think
crazy. When we started, I think they were younger. I know that was their, I think for each of them, that was their first kiss, too.
Oh,
No
wow.
way.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And they're both such good actors still, and they do such interesting work. Like, could you...
And good people. Really good, down-to-earth, great people.
Do you think also you guys had an influence on that? Like, being around all these great, like, more mature, like, comedic actors? Like, because you kind of see that with the Freaks and Geeks cast, too.
I mean, maybe you'd have to ask them, but, I mean...
Can you speak for them?
Sure. Absolutely not. Michael, what?
You know, you have my favorite, I think, line reading for a joke ever in that show. When you and Jason Bateman's character are debating, and then you're like, "What do you know about marriage?" "Oh yeah, that's right. Your wife died."
So,
And then you can see, I think they flip to the back of Bateman's head, but you can see he's cracking up at how you say it. And I was like, "Oh, there must not have been a take where he didn't react to that."
well, I mean, I'm sure there's like a blooper reel or whatever the fuck, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff. There was one thing where I didn't tell him I was going to do this. I think I told a couple. I probably told the director or Mitch or something. But there's a thing where I come. It's you know how they do the next time on Arrested Development or whatever. And everybody's eating at the table, and I'm completely naked, and I was completely naked, and I came down just, you know, acting oblivious, and then whatever the thing I ever was like, oh look, $1, and I bent over, you know, so that just my asshole was showing. And which wasn't scripted, and you know, I don't even know what made it. And I was like, oh look, $1.
So you would throw surprises at the.
When you could. I mean, people give us a lot more credit than we deserve, or is for improvising stuff. And in the very, very beginning, there was more improv. There was room for it, and then there just stopped being room for it. The scripts are so dense, and Fox was cutting time out every single year. They cut another 30 seconds out to put more ads in and stuff, and there just wasn't time. I mean, you would shoot a whole scene sometimes. I mean, you know, hours and hours, and they'd even encourage you, like, you know, all right, this is a fun run, you know, David, do whatever you want, and you do it, and then the entire scene, because there was only 20 minutes to tell this massive story, it would all cut around to, like, a phone would ring off screen, and then off screen someone would be like, oh, better get the phone, and it would cut. You know, like, you just have to, the scenes would get cut. So,
right.
And that was a little later on, but the first half of the first series, yeah, there was more riffing around, more fun stuff.
Nice.
That's awesome. And then your new special. So you're in Toronto, and then are you able to write when you're not doing stand up? Like, were you writing? Were you just like banking material?
Unfortunately, it's such a huge regret, and I cannot write stand-up that way. I've never been able to do that. Like, some people can just sit at a computer, typewriter, and write jokes, and I've tried it, and I'm not good at it. My brain just doesn't work that way, and 95% of my stuff comes out, you know, on stage,
right.
And so that's it's not just about, oh, I can't perform my material in front of a live audience. It's like, I can't develop material,
right.
You know? I mean, you have some ideas and you write them down, and that's what the little pieces of paper are when you go up, and initially you're, you know, I'm trying to put the set together, and the way I do it is I just, you know, have people come down, and I bring my notes up, I tape everything, and, you know, you just find your way around a bit. You know, sometimes you give up after 4 or 5 tries and nothing's working. Sometimes you don't, and but it's all with an audience,
right?
And then people kind of credit you with taking stand up out of comedy clubs and moving it into different venues, right?
Well, they shouldn't.
That's a little overstated.
I think that's a little simplified, because there were definitely people who were doing, shows at there's the Big and Tall bookstore here in LA that I know Janine Garofalo was a big part of that, and there was Uncabaret, which was Bethel Pettis, and I guess that was in a club, but that had different kind of rules to it, and there was the whole scene in New York. There was Luna Lounge, yeah, which was great, and but it was also about. So I mean, people were still doing things and.
It was more
weird
about changing
places.
the expectations of what the.
I was part of that. I think if I were to give credit to somebody for making that kind of universal, I would credit Janine Garofalo, who I think deserves more of that thing. What I did was, I was part of that, but I think more the impact I had was more of like. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have bands open for me.
Rather than
rather than opening for a band, I'm going to tour. It's all going to be music clubs, and it's going to be drinking from, for hours. And I'm going to be on stage until I have to pee. And that's what I did. And that was I did a couple of tours like that. It was fucking fun. It was really loose and sloppy. I don't recommend it for. You can do it a little bit. Yeah. It was fun, and that's what Shut Up You Fucking Baby was a result of, and Let America Laugh kind of documents that. But it was it was music clubs. I'd have bands, and there would be very little time between the band. It's just like don't even tear down, just go play. Sometimes there were a couple bands, and go play, and then I'll come up, and everybody's. And so that's more of what I contributed, but that whole kind of like.
But you created an atmosphere that suited your sensibility, that fit.
I'd be the guy in the audience for that kind of thing, and it was fun. It was great.
You must have a strong constitution.
I have a very shockingly high resiliency, and. As I got older, and when I was 40, I was like, I've got to get a physical. I got to get this, and I've done 3 physicals now, like full blood work, urine, stool, everything. Like
I'm neurotic about my health. I've done that stuff
all
too.
that, EKG,
stress test,
all that stuff. And every time, and I just did one last year. Every time I do one, and they're like, "Okay, you're in great health." I'm a little concerned your cholesterol is getting up there. It's nothing major, but something to look at. And I'm like, I drink an excessive amount every single night, and sometimes I do drugs, okay, thank you.
You come from good stuff,
I guess. Well, I'm British, so there's that shit, I guess.
Yeah, I wish I had that a little more. I'm pretty good with it, but like my brother is like that. He can just.
It's a blessing and a curse.
And the next day he's the same dude.
Yeah, it's blessing and curse.
Do you associate it with like performing too? Is it like I'm having a seltzer right now? Does it kind of? And actually, I don't even want to be like glib about it. I mean, seriously, do you find that it does enhance creativity at times?
No.
Thank you. We're back in, right?
Yeah.
So, David, you're heading out.
Yeah. No, thank you.
We have it already.
Yeah. Well, as I said before, I'm not going to eat that.
We have a tradition where everyone who comes on tries beef liver. It's really good for you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. No, thank you. It's a little early in the morning for beef liver.
But there was that episode of Todd Margaret where you did like gastronomy kind of food.
But there's nothing gastronomic about that. That's just beef liver.
But it's lovely that I tied it back to your...
Yeah, it was very nice that you brought it to Todd Margaret. Yeah, thank you.
But you're not going to try the beef liver?
Nope.
Do you want to watch me and Chad try it?
Sure.
All right.
I would never eat this again. I will do it for you.
Okay.
So
I just don't like liver. I'm not scared of eating new things.
No,
I've had that.
That's what I was wondering though. I was wondering if
I've had dog, I've had bullfrog.
You've had dog?
I have in China.
How's dog?
It wasn't bad. It was of the crazy shit I ate, that was probably the least offensive.
Really?
I had bullfrog soup. How
was
bad.
that?
That was bad because they chopped it. They just sort of chopped it with a cleaver and left bones and eyes and stuff in there.
And was it just chewy?
Yes, it was. It was really bad. And I had kangaroo's very good. I've had whale. I've had kangaroo. I've had puffin. Kangaroo's great. Kangaroo's it's really
it's like deer. It's like deer meat.
Yeah, it's a little gamey, but also like tender.
Yeah, good protein.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, bottoms up.
What do you think?
It's like
it tastes horrible.
It's horrendous.
It's always bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah. It's really bad. All three of you. All right. Well, then let me get in on it. Oh no, I won't.
No. Good call. I regret this on your behalf.
I did hot ones.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I made it all the way through. I was at one point I was like in their top 10, and then I fell out of top 10.
Oh, they've got it ranked.
At one point, I was in there.
Because you got that
really briefly.
The Southern palate kind of condition you to spice.
I'm good for spice food. Yeah.
Nice.
And those last like 3 are just unpleasant. They had nothing. There's no flavor, and it's just a masochistic experience. Like I don't know why people would do that. There's nothing. It doesn't enhance anything. It's
not like an ice bath.
Burning like burnt tire quality.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I find that with a lot of spicy food is that I'm like it detracts from the flavor of whatever it's
I mean, I like good heavy spice, but I don't. But when you get to that level, it's just silly, pointless.
Yeah. Right. Well, it was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you so much
for coming.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me in your home. Thank you for turning.
It was
the
a little
heat
hot.
down.
It was a little hot in here.
It was very hot. Yeah.
Are you a cold guy or?
I mean, I'm fine with most things except I got long pants today, and I prefer especially when I'm working, a little chillier, and then I'll just throw a hoodie or flannel on or something like that. But I can, I deal with a wide spectrum. But it's also that it was hot outside. I walked here; it was about an hour and change long walk. And it's warm outside. We're in LA. And then I got here and it was, like forced air heat. So it was like sauna. It was unpleasant,
I like it.
Yeah, well, clearly.
Nice and toasty.
Yeah. But I mean, I like nice and toasty if it's cold out. And I like getting toasty.
You like the contrast.
Yeah. I like my bedroom to be a little colder, and then you get under a nice blanket and it warms up. Like I don't like having the bedroom really hot and then putting heaters around my bed as well, and then putting extra layers of blankets on so that I'm
I like a cold sleep.
Yeah,
I like being in my blanket and then it's frigid.
I love it. Love it.
Best.
Yeah.
I like to feel like I'm always making weight for a fight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
I just gotta sweat it out. Yeah. If you fought in the UFC, what weight class do you think you would fight at?
A private first class, I think. I'm not that familiar with how it's set up, or maybe like sergeant at arms.
Oh, nice,
dude.
Yeah.
That's what I chose.
That would be my my fighter name, Sergeant at Arms.
Sweet.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming in. It was an honor. So
yeah, my pleasure. You guys are great.
Guys, check out the schedule. Check out this new stand-up special. Drops February
12th.
February 12th.
I'm from the future, and it's on officialdavidcross.com.
Hell yeah. Thank you, dude.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a great one.
What's up, guys? I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Diet Smoke. Diet Smoke, what up? Guys, like when you dabbling in weed, but you take too much. You eat an edible and you get like way too high. You just get so stoned that you just like are on Jupiter, and you're like, this is not what I intended. And you sort of like, how do I find something that like where I want to feel that nice buzz, but it's like I don't want to sort of blast off to the multiverse. Well, that's where Diet Smoke comes in, because when you want the perfect medium high, I go to Diet Smoke for the delicious Delta 8 THC gummies. Delta 8 is it's less potent than THC. It's amazing. And it's like, just gives you that cool buzz, that nice medium high where it's like, you can just get that like nice, cool kind of like I'm chilling thing. It's like, I don't want to go, say what up to, a freaking alien on planet X. Whatever, dude. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's when you get way too high. You don't want to do that. That's when you hit up diet smoke. Diet smoke gives you that perfect cool buzz. It's less expensive than dispensaries. No medical card required. 100% legal THC, even in states where cannabis is not. Smoother high. Some people get anxiety from Delta 9 THC, but not with Delta 8. Diet smoke gummies are perfectly balanced to give you the right amount of high every time. Organic, all natural. Each diet smoke gummy is infused with 10 milligrams of THC derived from America-grown hemp. And they're low in sugar. They're delicious. They taste good. They're gummies, blue raspberry, watermelon flavor. Try them both. What up? And they're so confident that you'll get the perfect medium high that they'll refund your money if you're not satisfied. So if you go to Jupiter, hit them up. Enjoy the smooth buzz of Diet Smoke. Their gummies aren't light, they're just right. And right now, Diet Smoke is offering you a huge discount. Go to dietsmoke.com, use promo code GODEEP to get 20% off your order. That's dietsmoke.com, promo code GODEEP for 20% off. We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pure, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean. Because the holidays went by so quickly, and did you remember to take care of your package with the best tools for the job? That's where the Performance Package 4.0 comes in, so you can get your pubes on check, on brand. So when people see them, they're like, whoa, what do you do? And you're like, I'm Manscaped. You should get on the train too, because everyone has pubes, and you need to take care of them. You get the Lawnmower 4.0, electric trimmer, advanced skin-safe technology, reduces nicks and cuts, and you can trim hair on loose skin, baby, with the 4000K LED spotlight. Shave anywhere your heart desires. Did I mention it's waterproof too? What? Yeah. It's National Shave Your Balls Day on February 13th. That's the day before, February 14th. So make sure you shave those nuts. They got the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. And in the Manscaped Performance Package, they have 2 free gifts. Their Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs to keep your boys stored comfortably. And then you got the Crop Reviver Ball Toner, refined cologne to complement your collection with smell perfection. And they create products for a night just like this. It'll make your V-Day date say, wow, great set of balls you have there. And you'll say, yeah. If you want good balls too, go to manscaped.com for an exclusive offer of 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP. Your balls and lady will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code GODEEP. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow with Manscaped this Valentine's Day. Finally, we are brought to you by the legends at Allform. What up, Allform? So if you've been listening to this show for a while, you probably heard us talk about our Helix mattresses, which I'm like, dude, I'm in love with my Helix mattress. I can't wait to get on it. It's like the perfect mix of soft and firm, and it's awesome. But then Allform comes in with this dank new furniture, shout out Strider. And what makes it Allform sofa really cool? Well, it's the easiest way you can customize a sofa using premium materials. You can get cool colors. I got mine with I got black material with, cool wooden legs. I can't think of the colors right now, but it's cool sort of espresso. That's what it is. You can pick your fabric, sofa color of the legs, sofa size and shape. I'm talking customized sofa over here. They got armchairs and love seats too, up to an 8-seat sectional. So there's something for everyone. You can always start small and buy more seats later on if you want your Allform sofa to grow and change with you when you move. And they're delivered directly to your home with fast, free shipping. If you buy a sofa from a traditional retailer, it would take even months to arrive. Yeah. And you need someone to come and assemble it in your home. You don't want that. So if you want a dank custom sofa that looks good and shows people that you are legit, and also, I got to mention this, you get 100 days to decide if you want to keep it. That's more than 3 months. And if you don't love it, they'll pick it up for free and give you a full refund. So to find your perfect sofa, check out allform.com/GoDeep. And Allform is offering 20% off all orders for our listeners at allform.com/GoDeep. That's 20% off all orders at allform.com/GoDeep. All right, let's get back to the show.
Stoke Lords, longtime stoker, first-time writer. Long short story, I'm in the Army and all of my friends are in a different unit than me that's deploying to Iraq. They've been my best friends for like 6 years, and since we all went our separate ways to different units, the only way we've stayed in touch was on Warzone. Call of Duty Warzone. I'm super bummed about them getting deployed while I'm still going to be stateside for multiple reasons, but the only one I can really control is trying to find a new Warzone squad. Not sure how deep you boys roll, but if I could jump in when you need a fourth, it would mean the world to tear up Caldera with you dudes and Striders. No need to bring this up on the pod. Just hit me up if you're willing to add a new member of the squad. Take care, Yale.
Oh, good cue.
Yeah, dude. Let's do it.
Dude, I'm down.
Let's go.
Let's drop in. I'm a resurgence guy though. I'm a rebirth guy.
It's so fun.
Caldera, I like doing regular battle royale, but it's sometimes it's just too slow, and I like to drop in where it's hot. Usually the fucking peak, because then it's just right there with dudes.
For sure, peak's always popping.
Yeah, just shoot him in the face.
Anytime in the game, you know there's going to be some homies up there.
Yeah.
All right, threesome advice with a long-term girlfriend. Please keep anonymous. What up, Chad, JT, Aaron, and hopefully the monogamy mastermind himself, Strider. I bring you a longish quest that has recently come up in my life. Me and my girlfriend just celebrated our 1-year anniversary recently. I'm super happy in our relationship as we are healthy, open, supportive, and super loving towards each other. We are both 20 and in disbelief at how well we are doing at such a young age. We are both very attractive people, at least physically. She is an absolute bombshell, a half-Russian previous model and Miss Location winner in our local area. And I find myself being flirted with and on the receiving end of a lot of attention from the finer of the finer gender. To top it off, our sex life is fire too.
This guy's a beast.
I know it might sound like I'm bragging.
Yeah, you are. I think Joe would have some choice words for this.
I just am so happy to be in such a blessed position. Want to share it with y'all. Recently, my girlfriend has told me...
I was like, is that the cue? So just like... Dude, I'm crushing it right now. My girlfriend's so hot, and then we're just boning nonstop. All right, see ya.
That is a tough spot to be in. Like, who do you tell? There's a good quote from Broadcast News where William Hurt's like, he's talking to the Albert Brooks character. He's like, what do you do when all your dreams come true?
Yeah.
And Albert Brooks goes, keep it to yourself.
Right, yeah.
Recently, my girlfriend has told me that she often gets turned on and has sexual thoughts about some attractive female acquaintances of hers, and has expressed that she would want to partake in an FFM threesome. 2 females, 1 male, myself. I'm obviously super on board and want to garner any sage advice from the saints who stoke themselves as to how to make this threesome experience best for everyone involved. How should we find our third partner? How do we make her and everyone else comfortable in this experience? Thanks, lads.
Well, dude, first off, congrats. You're crushing it. Congrats on being a hot dude. Honestly, I don't know how.
This guy should be giving me advice.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you asking me, dude?
Yeah, you got it. Just, I think, be happy to be there, but not like,
yeah,
but not too like.
But they're looking,
not to the point where you're like not confident.
But he's asking how to find this third one.
No, I think he's like asking like what energy he should bring to the 3-way so that it goes well.
Yeah, I think if he just brings stoke to any situation, good things will happen. Just fist pump the entire time. And okay, here we go. Wear a leather jacket, no shirt, some shades, no pants, just rocking a stiffy, and just fist pump.
And bring a fire extinguisher.
Dude.
And at some point, just set it off.
Yeah.
Like, preferably mid-thrust, just pull it out and go...
Dude, you know what you should...
This place is on fire.
Dude, yeah, he's got to put out the fire. Dude, don't forget to put out the fire. It's going to be too hot. And he should get light gloves so he can do a light show. So if, like, his girlfriend and the other girl are, like, doing something to each other, the person who's on the receiving end can also get a light show in her face. You know what I mean?
Totally. And bring bear mace. Don't
Yeah.
use it, but just be like, just in case things get out of control. And then the girls be like, oh, wow, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, this could really escalate.
And bring a charcuterie board.
That's really smart.
Yeah. Maybe some grapes and stuff and some cheese.
Like a huge charcuterie board.
Yeah. And don't skimp out on the crackers.
It's for real.
Go ahead.
One of those helmets that guys wear when they're welding.
Dude.
Yeah, well,
You know the
helmet.
steel ones that you throw down?
That's funny you
Flip it
say
down
that
that
because I was
rounds.
thinking they should all dress like stormtroopers and then have stormtrooper sex.
That sounds hot.
Yeah.
And then make sure you make your girlfriend feel really special throughout. When to say I love you. Hey guys, I'm a longtime listener from Kansas City. Thanks so much for all the joy you bring to my life. Y'all are the best. Anyway, I have a relationship question that I would love your perspective on. Maybe it will help out some other stokers in a similar situation. I have been dating this guy for 3 months now. We met on Bumble. Never in a million years would I have thought I would find something meaningful on a dating app. But here we are. It's super possible. This guy has quickly become one of my favorite people, and I honestly forgot that I haven't known him for that long. And that we met on a dating app. I love being around him and he makes me laugh. There are some moments that we are hanging out when I think in my head, I love you. And it just feels so right. I'm definitely falling for this guy. So here's the question. When is too soon to say the L word? Do you just say it when you feel it? Or should you wait longer based on societal norms? It's definitely something I've been pondering. I'm a 26-year-old graduate student in her last semester of school, and he's a 30-year-old engineer for some context. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. Thanks again for everything. Stay safe. I hope you had a speedy recovery from COVID. Hugs, Brooke.
Dude, it's a good cue. It's so finding that balance early on in the relationship. I think it can be kind of like you're like, come on, finding that balance of like how much, how much of your card do you willing to show? You know what I mean?
Totally. It's really tough.
And it's really nerve wracking.
And honestly, I was always someone who said it just right when I felt it.
Yeah.
And I think that worked against me.
Yeah.
But not all the time. But then I met a partner where I said it too soon, and I think it kind of I showed my cards too early. I didn't make the other person really earn it. I just said it once I felt it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think there is like a one size fits all for it, right?
Yeah.
But I do think if you're prone to saying it early, I would try and hold back.
Yeah.
And if you're prone to holding back, then I would try to say it earlier.
Right.
It's more about who you are as a person than...
That's a good call.
But I don't know. If you feel it and you want to say it, say it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with waiting a little bit after you're feeling it to just...
digest it.
And to really not make it just a feeling based thing and make it more of like, all right, well, have I really thought this through? Have I really thought about what it means to say I love you to someone?
Yeah.
And is this person, have they shown me enough to make me feel like they've earned me saying I love you to them?
Right. That's a great call. Yeah. I never really thought about that they have to earn it kind of thing.
That's the thing is like, I would just give it away and I wouldn't even think about if this other person is like really shown me that there's someone I can trust to love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I think I don't think I've ever waited longer than a month to say I love you to someone.
Right. She said 3 months. They're going on 3 months,
which is a good chunk of time.
That's a good chunk of time. And I mean, I'm not sure what's going on in the guy's head, but I'm like 90% sure
he's feeling
the same way, and he probably wants her to say it.
And it's just interesting to me too. Like, I think you're right. I think these two are in love and they have a beautiful thing going, and let it rip.
Yeah.
But I know guys who are very slow in saying I love you, and then they're the most loving boyfriends and later husbands ever.
Yeah.
And then I know people who say it quick and hop out. You know what I mean? So the phrase doesn't mean as much as the action, I think. But it does feel so fucking good to say it.
Oh, yeah.
To just be like, I love you.
Yeah.
And then get it back. That's a great feeling.
I'm sure she'll get it back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're both solid, too. She's a grad student. He's an engineer.
Yeah.
They're fucking solid.
And my wife and I met on a dating app. It does happen. And I think we said it 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
Who said it first?
Me.
Dude.
How'd you say it?
I love you.
Dude, I felt that.
Yeah. I felt that, too.
Was that directed at both of us?
At Chad?
For sure, Chad.
Oh, dude, thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
Aaron.
Whenever you're ready. On your own time, dude.
I love you too.
I don't want to... Whoa. I felt that as well.
Wow.
Watch a little connection happen here.
It's tough to say. I'm scared.
Do you want me to keep it moving?
Yeah.
What's up,
Unless
guys?
you want to say it.
No, I just wanted to sit in the...
Yeah. Sit in the tent.
Oh, I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
No, you got to say it better than that.
God. Now I feel like I'm trying
You're on
to
the spot
act.
too much.
No.
We'll come to it later if you want to.
Yeah. Let's
come to
pepper it in.
Yeah.
Don't force it. You're giving it away too early again.
Looked at you.
You're giving it away.
No, don't do that. Don't
Make
do
me
that.
earn it.
You're flipping it.
Make me earn it.
No. You're just trying to push the buck, dude. It's on you, baby.
Hey, I love you.
Hey, I love you too, man. All right, what's up, guys? Long story short, some super bad shit. There was 3 of us in high school. The other 2 went away to school together and got pretty tight. I'm still boys with one. The other one is pretty distant. I'll hit him with birthday texts and a couple of days of catch up. But after years of being the only conversation, our relationship. But after years of that being the only conversation, holy shit. But after years of that being the only conversation, our relationship is kind of non-existent. I get that's how it goes, and we really went different ways with our lives after college. But do I keep things awkward, catch up going, or do I lock up the memories and move on?
So the relationship has gotten awkward.
He's like following
post-college?
up with this dude, and the dude's not really following up with him. And he's wondering if he lets it die or if he keeps fighting it. Or keeps fighting for it, rather.
And this is post-college?
I think they're in college. But it's been like throughout the duration of it. And because 2 of them went away and like got super tight, and he was kind of third man out.
Oh, bummer.
But he's still tight with one of them, but the other one's like not really reciprocating.
Right. I think in those situations where someone, is kind of backing off a little bit, I think it's trying to force it kind of never really works. Yeah. So I think you got to let them, if you sort of give them the space, I think the chances of them sort of rekindling are much higher. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's tough, man. Like you never want, whether it's romantic or platonic, you don't want someone to take space from you when you don't want them to take space. But chasing after them, you're looking for like a reciprocal feedback that you're probably not going to get.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like we all do it, and it's just part of life. And you do it throughout your life. I mean, adults, grown people do it too. But I don't know. I don't really think there has to be like a hard answer to this. Like you can keep messaging them, and if you're okay with not getting the feedback you want, then that's fine. But it might be better to reallocate that energy.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere else.
Yeah, you don't have to keep the same group of friends your whole life.
Good call.
It'd be great if you could, but
That's a great call. This is an opportunity for growth, because if he puts that energy into another friend who's going to help him become the person he's going to be, that's better than chasing something from your past and trying to keep that when it doesn't really have this same dynamic or meaning anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. Naming body parts. What's up, legends? I'm wondering if you have any unique nicknames for any of your body parts. Dong, gun, quads. I often refer to my mustache as the saddle. Also, how many unread emails is too many? Thanks, dog. Late.
Dude, I love the saddle.
That's a good one.
Nicknames. I refer to my thighs as steak.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just going to work out the steak today. Nah, that's stupid. That sucked. I tried to come up with something funny and it fucking sucked.
Well, you got to honor the attempt. Keep going.
Well, you got your hair's flow.
I know. I'm just like dong flow. That's like stuff we already say, but like, what's something new?
You got great calves. We could come up with a name for those.
Calves, yeah.
The Mystifiers.
The Mystifiers. The
You know what?
Statues of David.
You took a chance. I got to take a chance now.
Yeah,
That's what I got to do.
Go ahead.
I call my elbows the pork loins.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is just piggybacking off what you did. Steak, pork loin, just different cuts.
Yeah, what's another? I was like, yeah, I call my sack the Wagyu beef.
Hey, we're getting there.
Yeah.
I call my asshole the flank steak.
Nice.
I call my nipples the foie gras.
The foie gras.
Foie gras.
Nice.
Mini crushes and long-term relationship. Love the pod. First time writing any Q. I'm in a sticky sitch. I've been with my girlfriend since high school, so like 5 years. Now I'm in college, and although I'm deeply in love with her, I find myself having mini crushes on other girls I meet. This has probably happened 5 separate times. They are always short-lived and usually don't span more than a few months, so I just wait them out. Sometimes I'm not even really attracted to them physically, but I find myself thinking about them long after we've interacted. I've never really acted on these besides maybe a few flirtatious chats. Again, I love my girlfriend and truly believe that she may be the one, but I have a hard time shaking these feelings. I'm wondering if you guys have had experiences similar, as well as looking for some wisdom into you and what it could mean and what I should do from here. Thanks.
I think that's natural. Over time, I listen to this guy, this sort of a relationship, it's like Jay Shetty or whatever he's talking about.
That guy's popular.
Yeah, he was talking about how we can feel attraction at multiple times a day. There's a difference between like full deep connection and compatibility and attraction. Like you can feel attraction for drive through at Taco Bell or like the librarian or your local barista, and that's just natural human. You're just a human being.
Yeah, that
doesn't mean that you're not fully in love and committed to your girlfriend. That's just that's just how we are. I guess as long as the crushes are kind of fleeting, like they don't last for a long time, I think you're okay.
Totally. I think the fact that it's been a bunch of people actually speaks more to the fact. If it was just one person, that would probably be like more of an issue.
Yeah.
And then, I think to me it's fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Like relationships, no matter what, are going to be difficult and they're not going to fulfill every whim you have at every moment you have them. So you're going to have fantasies and you're going to be like, oh, this would be cool if I could be with this person, or this would be cool if I could be with that person.
Yeah.
Because they're this or they're that. But, that's what they are. They're fantasies. They probably wouldn't be as meaningful as the relationship you're in. And they would probably, at some point, if you were with that person, you'd have fantasies about somebody else. So I think you got a good head on your shoulders. You see it for what it is, which is just like a fleeting attraction. And I also think that could lessen as you deepen your relationship with your partner and as you guys grow more together. So no, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's normal. It's good you're conscious of it and you're not acting on it, and that you you see the bigger picture.
Totally.
Yeah, I think you're solid, man. And it sounds like the ladies like you, so that's
it's also easier to flirt when you're in a relationship that is solid, because it's just like there's no stakes to it.
Yeah. Totally.
So, that's harmless. As long as you're not acting on it, I think you're fine.
Totally. Yeah, it is crazy how that happens. After you're in a relationship, you're like, oh, I got no skin in the game. I can just kind of be charming without really feeling like I'm risking too much. It's nice. All right. We ready for the next part?
Yeah.
Chad, who or what is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is my foot hurts. My foot hurts. Something, I think it's my metatarsal, which I just made up, but I'm pretty sure that's something in your foot.
I think you're right.
Oh, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, nice. I think
carpal.
That might be in your hand.
No, carpal in the fingers. Metacarpal, right?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Dude, it's something with the arsal. Right here. Okay, so I tried to run this morning, and right here in my foot it hurts, and I'm like kind of pissed. I'm like, what is that? It's like I don't know if it's like a stress fracture or it's just like my foot's kind of sore.
Carpal is the hand.
It's a carpal
for hand, but you were right with the foot.
Metatarsal.
Yep, you nailed it.
Yeah, and I just want it to go away so I can run. So later yourself, pain. That's my beef.
Nice, good beef. Aaron, what's your beef of the week?
My beef is still with this goddamn solar company.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to name them this time.
No.
Do it.
Super mad. Yeah.
Do it.
Sunrun. the biggest solar company in the United States. Still don't have my goddamn roof tiles on. I keep getting transferred department to department, put on hold for the entire drive here. Nobody picked up. I'm just really annoyed.
Did they claim to be green? But
No, well, I mean, it's solar energy, so of course they do.
it's like, provide the goodness to the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's so whack.
It is weird when it's like a green company, so you assume they'd be like ethical across all parts of the company.
Yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, are they just like a greedy corporation that doesn't take care of their customers?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm. Or are they too big to focus on any one client? Yeah.
Yeah, personal attention. That's a huge part of any business.
Totally.
And it's been totally lost in the sauce with these huge conglomerates that just could give a fuck about hardworking folks that just want to, produce and hold good energy.
Yeah.
I'm pissed, man.
Me too.
It's fucked.
Sorry, Aaron. Dude, my beef of the week is I had a beef yesterday at the gym.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I'm not mad at the individuals. Actually, I feel close to them because of the conflict. But it's not, the beef isn't them. The beef is just that something happened. But I'm at the gym with Joe Pellizzone. He's doing legs. I had done Muay Thai earlier in the day. I'm doing chest. And I fucked up. I didn't have my mask on and I was vaping in a common area. And I go to a gym that's very quirky. So I'll be barefoot there. Other guys, no one really has their masks on. Everyone's kind of a weirdo. It's nice. And then a lady is doing something on the Smith machine. She's doing like something for her butt. And she goes, "Can you please not vape in the gym?" And I go, "Oh, hey, once I get caught, I know I'm doing something wrong. So once I get caught, I'm like, I'm done." I'm like, "You know what? You're right." She goes, "And you don't have a mask on. So clearly you think the rules don't apply to you."
Ooh.
And, because I said sorry right away. But what am I doing there? I'm trying to short circuit her venting. I'm like, all right, you're right. Let's move on. But she's not done yet. She wants to get more out. So she keeps going. I go, "Hey, I heard you. I'm done." At that exact moment, I've never been called out at this gym before. At that exact moment, dude approaches, pretty jacked, but not in an athletic way. Bunch of tattoos, man bun. And he goes, "Are you really vaping in here?"
Really?
And then I go, "Hey, whoa." I go, "Hey, look, she already called me out. I'm done." He goes, "Come on, just go outside if you have to do it. It's so rude." And his voice is in this kind of annoying octave. And I go, "Hey, man, she already got mad at me. I'm taking off." And then he goes, "It's just unbelievable you did." And then so I'm like, "All right, look, man, I already got called out." So I go, "You don't have your mask on." He didn't have his mask on.
Yeah.
He goes, "I took it off to get mad at you." And I go, "Well, that makes a lot of sense." Because I'm just being a dick. And then we just stare at each other. He goes back over. He's doing curls on the
Of course he is.
the elevated thing, whatever it is when you're at the 45 degree angle. And he just keeps staring at me, and I just go, and then I'm kind of charged up at this point, and I'm just like, "What? Like what? Why are you staring at me?" And then he's just like, mean mugging me. And then I put my mask on, and that was the end of it. And I thought about apologizing to them afterwards, and maybe I should have, and just being like, "Hey guys, you know what? You were right. I'm sorry." But I just let it go, and we all just worked out around each other for like the next 15 or 20 minutes.
So you stayed in there?
I did.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I just went back to doing bench, and
Were you able to lift as heavy?
Yeah, I probably was.
Stress on you?
I was probably lifting a little bit stronger because of it.
That's
Because
good.
I was making a statement like, "Hey, I had a plate and a 10 on there, not too much weight, but I was repping it, and I was like, look, I work out for real." But it was fun, to be honest.
Nice.
It was an exciting little moment. And then Joe had my back, not like super actively, but he was like,
He squared up behind you?
I was just like, "Man, I'm sorry, I was wrong." He's like, "Nah, dude, you're all good. Like that guy's got a man bun." And I was like, "Thanks, Joe."
Dude, that is the best comeback. Be like, dude, you got a man bun.
It was really funny.
What can you say to that?
All right, Chad, who's your babe of the week?
My baby of the week is Nick George, who we've had on the pod.
The best.
He's an Alexander Technique teacher, he's an actor. And he's just a great guy. He's a good Venice guy. I like cool Venice guys that are grounded and like kind of like spiritual and just cool. And he's that. And I see him probably like once every 2 weeks probably. And he teaches me this Alexander Technique stuff and Just My Body, whatever. But mostly he's just a fun hang. He's a good listener. he's into art and culture, and he's knowledgeable, and he's kind of like a mountain guy / Venice guy because he's like from Montana, but he's also a surfer. And every time I hang out with him, it's sort of like doing stand up where you're just sort of like, it's sort of like therapy. We're like, ooh, nice. And you can tell him what's going on, and he's like, that's cool, brother. He's like, yeah, you're going through a transitional phase right now. Or you'll be like, yeah, you're really feeling those feelings, huh? And I'm like, yeah, you know.
He's the best at that. Like, you'll just like, I'll just give him everything I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And he'll just go, wow, brother, you're feeling a lot. And then you're like, nice. Yeah, you get it, dude. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
He's a good listener.
He's a good listener. And he's like, you know, he's like, yeah, you got to read, you know, you got to read some Melville. It's just good nutrition for your brain. I like, just like his language is like very soothing and cool.
And he's a cool dude. He's like, you know, he's got a good life, and you're like, you know, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
He seems very in touch with all parts of his life too.
Totally.
Like all of it. Like his art, his family, his hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's healthy.
He's a good guy.
The best. Aaron, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is the TV show Peacemaker,
Oh, nice.
starring John Cena on HBO Max.
Nice.
James Gunn wrote all the episodes and directed the first 3 or something, but I don't know. I didn't love Suicide Squad as much as some people did, but I liked his character. I thought he was very funny, and I think John Cena is really funny. I don't know
He's hilarious.
if people get that as much. I thought he was the best part of Trainwreck.
Blockers too.
Right.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, I've heard Blockers is really funny. I have to check
Super
that out. But you know, who'd have thought from this guy who's a wrestler, and I guess there's some precedent for wrestlers being good actors, obviously, but like, man, he's just so good.
Well, having
And,
that head like that, head shape like that, and being funny, that's
yeah,
pretty
he's just
impressive.
built like a fucking Superman, and just
He's a
but
fire
still,
hydrant.
still super funny. And like there's this big dance sequence for the intro over this like 80s hair metal song that I don't even know if it's a real 80s hair metal song or just written for the show. I can't skip it. I have to watch it frame by frame practically. Like I just love it so much.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's on HBO.
HBO, Steve Agee's in it.
Cool.
From comedy, who we all love.
Beast.
Yeah.
Did he write
it's
on
really
Mr.
funny.
Show? Did he write on?
Agee? No, I don't think so.
But Posehn did.
Posehn,
who he's
yeah.
a frequent tag team partner with in comedy stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, my baby of the week is the UFC 270 event that we went to.
Oh, dude.
Chad
Oh, yeah.
came with, my brother and Grady. Great group of guys. And dude, one of the best live sporting events maybe the best live sporting event I've ever been to.
It's awesome.
It was so fun. The people in the crowd were amazing.
Yeah.
We had like 4 or 5 guys in front of us who were either from Tijuana, or had family from there. And there was a Mexican fighter in the co-main event, Brandon Moreno. And dude, the passion that they had for him, and it was a lot of Hispanic people there who were rooting for Moreno, and like being in that environment and feeling their passion for their guy was so thrilling. Like it was so fucking exciting. And they were chanting, "Let's go, Brandon," and which I guess is a political phrase now that means "fuck Joe Biden." Have you guys heard about this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it. And then my brother told me during the fight, he's like, "Oh, is this like political?" And I was like, "Nah, the dude's name is Brandon Moreno." But so I don't think it was political in that moment, right? It was just everybody.
I didn't feel like it was, but then like I remember some people in the crowd were sort of like, "Oh, let's go, Brandon," but I don't think it didn't feel political in that moment.
No, the
'Cause
majority.
it'd be weird too. Of like, I guess you can combine the two, but everyone was so psyched for him, and it's like he's like a hometown.
Maybe some people were like kind of winking when they were saying it, or like
Yeah.
or like having like double the fun with it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't aware of it, so I was just like, oh, everyone's just going. And then there was other chants, like
Si se puede.
which was so amazing.
Yeah.
And they were doing it at the perfect times. Like
Yeah.
he'd be lagging it around, and then they'd just be like, "Si se puede," and you could just feel the rush. And the guys in front of us were awesome.
Yeah.
And they were like pretty obsessed with Grady and Chad, and they just kept handing us pizza.
Dude, just
And they wouldn't
nonstop
stop.
food.
They just kept going, more pizza, more pizza. And we were
Yeah.
like, bro, we've already had enough, but you could not say no. It
Yeah.
would have been like, they were kind of like nice bullying us.
Yeah.
And so we just kept sliding the slices under our seats.
Yeah.
But they were going so ham. And then there was a girl next to me, and she was one of the deepest UFC fans I've ever been around. Like, she was looking at the active betting lines as the fights were going. And she bet on Ngannou in the heavyweight title fight. And she just kept going to Gon, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
And it was thrilling. It was so great. And then we had the guy behind us who was super knowledgeable about the sport that I kept talking. It was one of the most communal
Yeah.
fan environments I've ever been in.
I wasn't expecting it like I didn't know what to expect because I've never been to a fight live. I don't really watch UFC, and it was just like the energy of the crowd was unbelievable. Like everyone was fired up. You know, you go like other sporting events, no one's really that sort of. It doesn't feel like. I guess it does in some instances, but like everyone was sort of in it together. Of like, this is fucking awesome. Let's go.
It was so community based, right?
Yeah.
And dude, it fired me up because I've been to so many sporting events with you, and then I think I've been to every sport with you. We've been to hockey, basketball, football, and baseball.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was the most jacked up I'd seen you at a sporting event.
Dude, I was fired up. Yeah.
And so that made me so happy. And then also, I think it was the best I've ever seen you dance.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
and you were totally sober, and you were so grooving.
Oh, I was feeling it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah,
like you were
thanks, man.
really in the rhythm of the music because they play great. Someone like plays music during it, and like a Drake song will come on, which just works so well in a arena environment like that. And yeah, it was just it was an incredible just atmosphere. I was so stoked on it.
Yeah, it was so fun.
It really lived up to what I thought it would be. But yeah, that's my babe of the week is the UFC 270 crowd and just the whole event. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Chad, who's your
Thank you for
yeah, of
the
course,
invite.
man. Of course, my brother. He got the tickets for my birthday. Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is this author James Andrew Miller. He wrote Powerhouse, the CIA book, and just a bunch of these oral histories. I mean, he did ESPN too and Saturday Night Live.
Yep, and then he just did an HBO one. But I've read CIA and I've read the Sports Center one.
Yeah, I'm reading the CIA one. It's just like it's so entertaining.
It's the best, dude.
And I just bought the HBO one because I was just I bought it and it's like 650 pages or something. And I was like, okay, I was like, I don't know if I'll get through this. But then I start reading it and it's just so.
Those oral histories read faster too. Like
they
it's
read
less
super
words
fast
per page, and it's all quotes, so it's all juicy.
Yeah, it's all juicy and it's just gripping, and it's just like you're on like this ride, and it's so fun. And then I bought. I think HBO comes in today, so.
Oh hell yeah!
I heard it's like 1,000 pages.
I'm sure it's a monster.
But they're gonna talk about like Sopranos and all that shit, and I'm really excited to read it. So just want to give them a shout out.
That CIA book's one of my favorites. The characters are just incredible.
Yeah.
The two main guys, it's Michael Ovitz and Ron Meyer, are kind of the central figures.
Yeah.
And they're just, I don't know, they're just huge personalities.
Yeah. Totally.
Like Ron Meyer gets into like fist fights and shit. Like he cracks his ribs with Michael Douglas at like a casino in Singapore.
Yeah.
Just fighting some dude at a craps table who's being too aggressive with his buddy's daughter.
Yeah.
And he's like just beating up some sheik, and they're just going toe to toe. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Aaron, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is the band The Weepies. They're a husband and wife. They were, unfortunately. This is where things get dark. We went to like their last tour a couple days ago, my wife and I. And they broke up.
Oh, wow.
They like got divorced right before the pandemic, like New Year's Day 2020. Their divorce was finalized. We had no idea. And they just announced it before they set these dates.
Wow.
It was like, fuck. And they're just great. They're just a great like acoustic duo where their voices just they harmonize with each other incredibly well. Their songs are so great and so well written and thoughtful, and their stage banter is really funny. Like the two of them are really funny. The husband Steve especially is like, I think he could do stand up. He's so funny. But they're just they complement each other so well. It's really bizarre that they're not together anymore. They have kids, so that's tough too. But
It's a bummer.
But yeah, their music will live on forever. So they're great. Thank you, Weepies.
My legend of the week is I kind of mixed it up because my beef of the week was going to be something else, and I just switched it to that beef. And I was going to make those people who got mad at me my legends. You know what? They are my legends. The two people who got mad at me.
Nice.
I like a little public conflict. I think I mistake intensity for intimacy sometimes, but I feel connected to those people now. I feel like they were very honest with me, and we had an honest situation, and I don't know. I think if I see them again, I'll be really warm, and I'll try to get to the other side of it.
Nice.
Yeah. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week once again comes from MacGruber. All right. So this is MacGruber and Piper. Piper is played by Ryan Felipe. Awesome. Got another throat rip in. Cool. I might go for the turkey. The turkey? Yeah, it's a bowling term for when you get 3 strikes in a row, and I apply that to throat rips. That's sick. Maybe, but if Ripping Throats gets that warhead back, I'll suck as many dicks as rip as many throats as I have to. Did you hear that? No? Okay, good. Oh man, that's good stuff.
Aaron, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week is I was telling you about this before the show, but David Cross was a guest on Just Shoot Me back in the 90s. And the character he's playing was pretending to be mentally handicapped for some, I don't even remember why. And like people would try to talk to him, be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And all he would say in reply was, "Chicken pot, chicken pot, chicken pot pie." And that just gets stuck in my head.
That's nice to hear you sing.
Yeah, you got to hit those notes. And he would say that constantly. And eventually, at the end of the episode, he gets caught for pretending. But yeah, that thing just comes and goes in my head all the time. And I've been saying it for probably 2 decades now. So chicken pot, chicken pot, chicken pot pie.
Nice. My quote of the week is from a song I heard at Target yesterday. I love when you hear just a good song in the background when you're moving. You know, you feel like you got a soundtrack to your life. And this song was, the chorus was so funny. It was just, I can't find the song. I looked up the lyrics, but they're a little generic, so it was tough to pinpoint which one it was. But I'll find it. But it just goes, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. I got a plan. I was like, nice, dude. It suited that moment in Target. I was like, I do have a plan. Getting some SD cards.
Nice.
Chad, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Phrase of the week for getting after it is, I already trimmed my pubes.
Nice.
My phrase is, God, somebody get this liver out of my teeth.
Dude, yeah, good call.
Is it stuck in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the aftertaste.
My phrase of the week for getting after it is from what I think might be the best song of all time. It's a Tiesto song with Post Malone and a couple other guys that's out right now. It's called Jackie Chan. Have you heard it?
No. Isn't there another song? Yeah, no, I haven't heard it.
But the chorus goes, your bitch just want to kick it, Jackie Chan. And kick it, Jackie Chan. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I don't know how they came up with it. I just think they're touched by some kind of muse that's in touch with a higher realm than we exist in. And yeah, kick it, Jackie Chan. I think that's the best phrase I've ever heard.
That's tight.
That's my phrase that we forget after.
Well, massive thanks to David Cross.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was really cool. He's a legend.
Yeah, never thought I'd just sit down and talk to David Cross for an hour. It's really
Yeah.
nice when that happens.
You know,
really cool.
You know how on MySpace it used to say, "Who'd you like to meet?" And I took that very literally, and I wrote the people I wanted to meet. David Cross was like number 3.
Really?
Oh, nice.
That's really cool. Yeah, I figured you'd be a big fan.
Yeah. So this has been really cool.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
He was really cool. Guys, keep writing reviews. They help us a ton, and we love hearing from you. And just keep being awesome. Keep staying stoked. Or just stay stoked. And, yeah, I love you.
Hey. Hey, guys. I love you, too.
I love you, Stokers.
I love you.
Aaron Cam.
These guys